Hello everyone. Today we'll begin with the second part of the third chapter, Two Stories About Flying. Its second part, The Black Aeroplane. It's written by Frederick Forrest. In the first part, we have seen his first flight, a young seagull trying to fly, how he learns to fly, how he successes after many failed attempts. In the second part, The Black Aeroplane, we'll see such story where it's an open-ended story, but it's up to readers' interpretation what they think about what must have had happened. This second part, Black Aeroplane, is a simple story yet interesting one. In this, the main character, as you know, main character is also called as the protagonist. Our protagonist happens to fly from France to England, and he was so eager to reach England that he wanted to reach there on time. He wanted to put his feet on the on the earth of England, and he wanted to have English breakfast there. He was dying to reach there, and so he was very happy. But when he takes his flight, he decided that he'll be reaching there, he'll be having a very good time, he'll be spending a merry time there. But when he took the flight, everything was normal. When he started his plane, the weather was normal, the conditions, circumstances, everything was good. He took his plane, which was old Dakota plane. The number of the plane is given to you. It was Dakota DS-088. And when he started flying and he crossed a certain distance, he decided that he must inform the control, which was Paris control, and so that they can guide him further. He was about to reach Paris, and he informed the Paris control that his plane was Dakota DS-088 and he was on his way to England. But as soon as he gave this message, the people from the Paris control, they informed him to move back by certain distance, that is 12 degrees. You can see in the second paragraph it is mentioned you ought to turn 12 degrees west now. This was said because the condition of the weather was not good. And when the Paris control told him to move 12 degrees back, 12 degrees westwards, he decided to go there because the conditions of weather, as I said, was not good, and because he was instructed to do so, he had to move away. But when he did this, he again thought that because of this delay, he will be reaching England late, and his eagerness to reach to England was getting more and more every second. When he started moving backwards 12 degrees west, he saw his fuel tank, which was moving low. He saw that his fuel will be getting over very soon, but then he thought that it is only a matter of some time. He'll be reaching England in a quite few maybe hours, and so then he'll be able to get his tank full. Moreover, he'll be enjoying his English breakfast there. But now, when he was still moving westwards, he thought that he should take a risk. He should move towards Paris and he should move towards England. He should take a risk. Even though the weather was not good, still he should take a risk. It was stormy clouds, the clouds were black, and usually it happens so. We also know that in the monsoon season, or when the clouds are stormy, when the clouds are windy, at that time usually flights get cancelled. So when the Paris control told him not to come forward, it was for his betterment. But he decided to take risk. He thought that he should move towards England and reach there soon on time. He started moving towards England even after told not to do so. He started moving there, but on the way he found too many cloudy, you can say black clouds. It was too stormy there, and he was now a little afraid, a little scared, because anything could have had happened. Even plane could have got crashed at that moment. But suddenly he saw another aeroplane, a black colored aeroplane, which was flying just next to his plane. And he saw the pilot, the person who was flying the plane, waving at him. He did not understand what was happening, but he thought that that plane might have come for his help. Because of the stormy weather, the pilot might have come to his help. And so he quietly decided to follow the pilot. The black aeroplane, it started moving forward, and the narrator, the protagonist of our chapter, he started following that black aeroplane. He followed it from the mountains, from the waters, and finally he saw a runway. He landed his plane. He took the step on the ground and he was so happy because his life was saved. No doubt his curiosity about England was still at its place, but for now he was so happy about him being alive. And he decided that he must go and thank that pilot who saved his life. And so as soon as he turned back, he saw that there was no plane, there was no person standing there. And he was shocked and surprised to see this, because how could a plane not be there? The plane which he followed, how could it not be there? And so he decided that he must go to the control room, and there he must ask and inquire about which pilot and which plane was flying next to him, so that he can go to that pilot and thank him about what had happened. But when he reached there, when he reached the control room and he talked to that lady who was the attendant over there, when he had a word with her, she told him that there was no other plane in their radar flying, because the weather was not good and it was not possible for the planes to take the flight. It was only the protagonist, that is the narrator's plane in the sky. No other plane was flying. Listening to these words, the protagonist of our chapter, he was totally shocked and surprised, but still he could not understand what had happened. This is how our chapter ends here. As I said, it is an open-ended chapter. The reader could understand, the reader could interpret what they want the ending to be. And so you can think that it might be his illusion, it might be God's help to him, it might be some positivity and optimism, anything it could be. So it's an open-ended chapter, as I said. This is the second part, The Black Aeroplane. We'll be continuing with the understanding and reading of the chapter in the next session. Till then, thank you.